What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021 with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project car. This is the Audi R8, but more on that in just a minute. I have been away for a little while, so thank you all for your patience. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I had some mental issues, a complete mental breakdown, but we'll leave it at that. Am I better? Absolutely not. Is it going to change? Probably not. So I'm just going to carry on. I can't get any better at the moment, so we're going to carry on as we were before, or at least attempt to. You know, it might not be as consistent as it was before, but I do enjoy this, so I will be keeping it up. But there we go. Enough of bringing everyone down. Welcome back. It's been a little while. I'm glad to be back. Let's have some fun in Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. Also, a new announcement today on the official Red Dot Games, the Discord server. The new game is in the works. I don't know what it's going to be called or anything like that, but they have officially announced they are working on the next installment. It's going to be a lot of fun. There is a little clip on the announcement section of the official Red Dot Games Discord server, linked in the description below. As always, go over there and check it out. It looks awesome. There's a single image with a garage that looks not too dissimilar to this garage. If you were to sort of stand here, this is a little bit wider by the looks of it. Doesn't go back as far to the wall in the new garage. I can see two lifters. I'll put one image on screen here. As you can see, it looks absolutely fantastic. And there is a little video, time-lapse video clip to go with it that I'm not going to steal, but head over and check it out because it looks like we're going to be getting night and day cycles with the new game, which definitely would be an interesting feature. I don't know how they're going to implement it, what they're going to add with it, but it definitely looks great visually at what I've seen so far, which is just that small little time-lapse video and that single image. It looks absolutely beautiful, and I cannot wait for that one. So I'm definitely excited to be letting you guys know if you haven't seen it yet. If not, go and check out the official Red Dot Games Discord server. Check it out for yourself. Have a look. Keep an eye on that announcements because I'm sure there'll be more to follow soon. But there we go. Enough of that. More housekeeping to get on. Since I've been away, we've had more competition winners. So congratulations to John the Fuzz with the modern and future builds. Very simplistic build there. This was actually in a modded competition as well. So it just goes to show you don't always have to do fancy, wild and crazy to win. Modded competition, and this pretty stock car won. Well done, John the Fuzz. Very happy with that one. Next up, we had the pickups and vans. That's the one I did enter over here with our Lacroix Fret. More on that one in just a minute. Winner of that one was Speedy with this beautiful pickup truck. Now, this was Law and DLC vehicles. So that's obviously the Salem 1500, something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But there we go. Definitely a Law car. Then we went back to the mods for the supercars. And this is Jasser. I'm really sorry if I butchered that name, but congratulations with the beautiful Mercy build. Looks absolutely fantastic. Loving that one. Well-deserved win. And then for the previous one, we had electrified builds won by TB Crash Nick with this beautiful converted to electric Willis, still not sure, Jeep. And it looks absolutely fantastic. Well done to all of the previous winners there. And we have moved the previous board up here with everyone still on it. And obviously our previous boards are all still dotted about. Couldn't see that one because of the pillar. So we got a new one up here with this sort of, I don't know, I just did a little fancy, not fancy design on there just to make it look a little bit better. But there we go. I think that's everything updated apart from one last thing, and that was my competition entry. Although I didn't win the competition, I do ask you guys to give me a score out of 10. We will be doing the same for the beautiful Audi, as it is another competition entry, but we'll come back to that in a bit. So this one here, I asked you guys to give me a score out of 10 so we could get it added to our show car board. It's been a little while. I didn't really give any extra time, and we came in the top spot. Yes, that's right. The Hoonavan came in the number 1 position with a score of 10 out of 10 from 4 votes. So it's a little bit lower than some of the other ones on there, but still 3 of you gave it a 10 out of 10. And French Toast gave it a 12 out of 10, which was obviously rounded down to 10 out of 10. So total score 10 out of 10 for the Hoonavan. Absolutely fantastic. It does mean it will be taking the top spot outside. I'll do that in the next video or a little bit later on in today's video without you guys seeing it. But it does also mean we will be doing a new signature series t-shirt and mug. I don't think anybody apart from my mum and myself picked up this last one because we both love that vehicle as well anyway. But we will be doing a new mug and a signature t-shirt. I don't actually have a signature t-shirt on display here, but we will be doing a new mug based around this beautiful Huna van and a new t-shirt. I might get in trouble with licensing because there is a lot of logos on here. We shall find out if I do get in trouble for that. Hopefully not. If so, I just have to take the t-shirt down and the cup down, won't I? But anyway, for the time being, I'm going to crack on and get them made and hopefully make it look awesome. And hopefully you guys will pick some up. I'll let you know when they're on the shop. They won't be up there forever, so they will have a limited time run. You can buy as many as you want in that limited time run, but it will be very limited. I'm going to do the cup again and a t-shirt. If you want to see something else, do let me know in the comments below. But there we go. I think that's enough housekeeping for the time being. This is probably already a 20-minute video, and we've not even finished the intro, technically. But let's get on to our beautiful Audi today. We are going to be doing something a little bit different. I did try it before, but I don't think it really worked, and I think I've been the idea and changed it. So today, what we're going to do is this obviously is our competition entry. At the moment, we just have a standard V10 Audi R8. It will not be staying a standard V10 Audi R8. I'm sure I put it on the thumbnail, so you will have seen the thumbnail already, so you can see roughly what the end product is going to look like, and it looks nothing like this. What we're going to do is we're using the quality of life mod today. Once we get this Audi stripped a little bit later on, this will say somewhere around here, bare frame, and we'll be able to change which version of the car we want, and we'll be changing it to the custom version I have already created and then reassembling it. So we'll be transforming this stock V10 Audi R8 into a beautiful Track Machines V10 Audi R8. But before we do that, we need to get this beautiful car started. So let's get kicked off by getting this one into the car wash, getting this beautiful Audi all cleaned up, ready to customize. In the car wash with the beautiful R8. It is a stunning looking car. Hopefully it should look 100 times better by the end of today's episode. So let's get it all cleaned up, get all that dust and grime off of there. See what colour we got underneath. Are we going to be sticking with it? I do like that. Oh, that's from my failed livery. Never mind. Ignore that. I can't believe that's on there. That's from a failed livery attempt that I tried to do. Obviously, this has got no rear quarter panel on there, so it's missing. But the issue I was having is I made this stripe go under here. It looks fantastic. I couldn't get it to go any further. I wanted it to go up around the back here. We've got a bit of a wide body kit on ours, so it makes sense later. Up around here and then around into the sort of tail lights around the back. But I couldn't get anything to show up here. Well, not that remotely lined up in the file for it. The way to get the wide panel that was down here is somewhere in this section here of the UV map. Some of it was up on the door here, which I couldn't get rid of if I wanted something on the door. And if I wanted something on there, I had to have it on the door as well. Some of it was in the wheel arch. I did a swirly pattern in the wheel arch just to see if it was there. It came up all funny. So that's one of the reasons as to why there is no special livery on our Audi R8 today. Because I did try, but I couldn't get it to work properly. But there we go. This is the colour we're left with. And it's sort of just a sort of greeny, silvery sort of colour. And I am not a fan at all. So anyway, let's get the interior cleaned. Get this beast back on the lifter. Start stripping everything down. Ready to transform this one into the Track Machine Audi R8. Let's get this R8 all stripped down then and ready to go. It's a V10 rear-engined. We do have an oil pan. So first off, let's get the oil all drained out of this beast, if there is any. Let's see what condition that V10 was left in. That's pretty clean. Pretty clean. And quite a lot of it as well. A well-looked-after V10. Didn't even see how many miles were on this. Just under 75,000 kilometers. So actually not too shabby for this beautiful little Audi R8. We need to get in and get this engine out of here if I could find a nice spot. Starting with our beautiful starter. Then we've got the rear drive axles and the wheels. So I'm going to get them off very quick and I'll be right back. That's the rear wheels and drive axles off. Now, as you see the car now, a few of these bits will definitely have changed position when we come to get it fully stripped a little bit later on. And my version is different to Lit's version in quite a few ways. Starting with, you'll see it all later, I ditched these two fuel tanks, just didn't need them. We just got the side fuel tanks on there. This has moved slightly, and we don't have these air filters here anymore. And I'm pretty sure I did move the power steering reservoir to the front, just so it wasn't down the back. But apart from that, I think the rest of the rear is pretty much the same. Apart from the engine positioning, that has changed a little bit. Up the front in my version, Although it has got these lovely front drive axles that don't connect to anything, I have done mine with a front cross member. I'll explain more on that later. And drive axles all actually connecting up to a front diff, which then does have a drive shaft that goes and connects up just on that front pulley. If I could just highlight that front pulley. Oh, there it is. That red bit just there. That's where it all connects into a little bit later on. I think a few other bits have changed. Double radiators. These are now vertical or sideways mounted, whichever you want to call them. And a few other bits like that. Lots of the bodywork's changed, but that's about it for the interior. So let's crack on with this, getting this gearbox out of here. Out you come. And then I'm just going to crack on. We're going to get the rest of this all stripped down. There's not too much point in seeing all of this because it is all going to change from my version anyway. So let's try and get that engine back down out of there, and then we'll get the liquids drained, and then we'll carry on with stripping this beast down. Can we get the engine out first time? There wasn't any extra exhaust parts, so it should be fine. That's what I like to see. Get you put away, and we'll just jump in. I don't want the engine cover. I want something from the engine bay, just so we can drain some liquids. We've got, obviously, the wishy-washy reservoir, brake servo, coolant reservoir, and our power steering reservoir. Can I reach them all from here? I believe so. So there we go. I'm going to right-click, additional tools, drain tool, and then just click on hold on whichever container you want to drain the liquids from, and they get pulled out by this little plungy. Plunger. Nice and simple. There we go. I'm going to crack on, get the rest of this all stripped down. We'll come back to stripping the beautiful bodywork, and obviously we've got to buy a fully tuned, or are we going to? No, we're going to go and buy a fully tuned V10 engine to go in this beautiful Audi R8. That's everything stripped for our beautiful Audi R8, almost ready to go back together, but now we need to get all this bodywork stripped off, and we probably won't be using most of this, so let's just get rid of it all. Out you come, off with the headlights, front bumper and hood, bonnet. There is a side piece here, which is the front fender. That might be on some of your builds, so you might need to take that one off as well. Side skirt down at the bottom. Obviously, that windshield. Do we have the fender? Yeah, the fender is on the other side there. That's the bit I was on about. Out with the side skirt, and obviously door, window, and mirror there. Little body window. There is a fender here. Some might be on. Mine isn't, obviously. Off with the tail light, round to the side. Get that body window and this fender here with all the carbon underneath it. Tail light. Rear bumper should be there, and obviously the exhaust section should be there as well. Car part 4, car part 1, and then the trunk, and there should be a window in there. Obviously it's missing. There is a window in there, but I think that's just part of it. We do also need that engine cover, and I think that's everything. I'm not 100% sold on that. Although I spent ages building this car recently, I can't remember. But anyway, let's get these seats out. Out you come, and off with that steering wheel. Have we got everything off? This is the moment of truth. We jump into here. It does say a bare frame in there, which is exactly what we wanted. But before we swap it, which I'm going to do momentarily, we're going to go over here. The engine in this one, obviously, is the V10 overhead valve MT8 engine, pumping out 540 horsepower. And we also paid $75,213 for it. So let's switch and see what changes to the new version. So let's go through. Slot 1, we don't want that one. We don't want the V10 Plus. We don't want the V10 Performance. We don't want the Need for Speed Widebody or the Alpil, don't know, RSR, or the Lit Edition. We want the VM Track Machine. There we go. Absolutely fantastic. The config is swapped. So let's go in and check. That engine still says I can't remember if it said 540 before now. Only a few seconds ago, but there we go. I think that was still the same, and the value has stayed. I was intrigued to know. Now, the one thing I will note is if we come back out of here and then check out the underneath, all the stuff that's inside, this is still all the old setup. So all you need to do very simply is, if you've got the quality of life mod, you will know about it. And obviously you'll know that you can change the frame options. So now all you need to do is just hit a quick save game, and then you want to go into your pie wheel options menu and just hit load game. I'm going to do that now. I'll be right back. There we go. Let's get back in. We've loaded back in, and you can see we've now got some stuff added in that wasn't necessarily on there before. It does look a bit weird. So let's jump into the underside and take a look. Obviously, these are the wheel and tyre package that does come on it. I think it's what comes on it, but let's take them off anyway because they're currently in our way. So out you come. I'm going to check in the menu in a second to see if that... I'm going to go in now. That's not right because it doesn't have any ET on it, and I don't even think that's the right tyre size. No, it's not. That is wrong. So when you do that, ignore the wheels it puts back on it because it doesn't put ET. And I don't think the profile or thickness is correct. So ignore that. But anyway, let's see some of the changes. We've got obviously a turbo setup and intercoolers back there. We've got that drive shaft I was mentioning earlier with our front diff and obviously different front drive axles. Front cross member, which we will be painting invisible. I'll show you why in just a minute. We've obviously got the dual front Summit radiators on there as well. All of this set up, all looking different. Back down to the back. If I could get there. Do you want to let me get there? Thank you. Up we go. The difference is we've obviously got these air filters were here before. Now we've got two intercoolers that will be connecting up to a wonderful, wonderful turbo setup, which we'll see all of that later. But there we go. For the minute, I need to get on and get the rest of this re-stripped, I guess, back down to the bare frame. Then we can get this beautiful beast all sorted out, ready to go back together with some shiny new body panels, looking beautiful and more like a track machine. Let's get this track machine all ready for the track. And to do that, we need to get this beast back together into the paint shop, ready to be shiny and new. But before we do that, we need to get the frame all sorted. Let's jump in, because a couple of bits have changed. We're still at the bare frame, obviously now on the track machine. The frame was at 45%, and we bought the car. This didn't change for 75,213. So we'll have to figure that one out in a second. But the engine has now increased its power from 540 to 660 in the base power without tuning anything. And we do need to go and buy the V10 overhead valve MT8 engine. So let's get the frame sorted first. I'm going to go 2,500. I think this could be quite a bit. 1520, you know, only about 1,000 off, but never mind. While that's going through, let's jump back in here. We want to press Z on this menu if you have TK Basics, so that you can scroll through and change how you're buying your engine parts. We want to go through to tuned engines, and then we want to look for that V10. I saw V12s. V10s are normally just before it. There it is, overhead valve MT8 V10. That's the one we need, fully tuned. Let's buy one of them. Thank you very much. Get our welder put away and quickly go and throw this engine on the engine stand. Throw this engine on the engine stand. There we go. Install engine on the stand. Thank you very much. On you go there. I'd rather you weren't that way round, but never mind. Let's spin you back and then take a better look. It's looking good already. Chrome, steel sort of parts and a bit of black up here. We're obviously going to be changing that, making it look a whole lot better if I can get it to do that. Obviously, some of you might not agree with my engine colorings all the time, but I think today might be a little bit different. But anyway, enough of that beautiful engine. Let's get back to our wonderful Audi and get this body all back together, looking completely different to where we set it off. Let's just get started with the cheeky little windshield. Now, earlier on, this had blue striping inside, and if we click onto here, car part 6, which is that front end and all the stitching, we've now gone to red stitching in there. We'll check that one out a bit more in detail a little bit later. The doors also red stitching. We'll go around and get the other side done as well. On you go there. I did accidentally buy a blue one by mistake, but never mind. The mirrors, we've gone for these beautiful Type 4S, the mirror C's anyway. They look really nice on there. Very pleased with how they turned out. And obviously the windows are just the windows. Pop you in that side. Let's go around and do the same for the other side. In you go, on you go, and on you go. Then for our hood, we went for Widebody 1, which is the hood F on here. Absolutely wild. Lots of vents in there. We will be changing how this hood looks a little bit later on. Onto the front bumper. This is the Widebody 1 front bumper. Front bumper J. Looking a pretty mean on there. And we just went for the alternate, the B headlights, which are already pre-tinted. So hopefully we won't play around with them too much a little bit later on as well. Onto our side skirts, car part 2. We went for the C additions, carbon fibre, and obviously a little bit of extra flaring and stuff on there just to make it look a little bit nicer. We do also have our front left fender. This is the standard piece, I believe. Just the standard one that goes on there. Fits nicely with this build, obviously, because it flares out and then dips back in. Looking quite nice on there. Onto our rear left fender. That is obviously Widebody 1. Rear left fender B on there. Looking pretty good. This was the bit I couldn't get to go with the livery. This single piece here could not get paint on here. Could get it up here. That was on the door. And there were some swirly patterns here as well that I could get. Maybe we'll see it later if I've still got it saved in the game, which I obviously have. Hence why it showed up on the car earlier. But anyway, let's get this side all balanced up to the same place and come on round the back. No engine cover. Already removed that one. Remove that when I was creating it. So we do have our trunk piece on there. On you go, and then our window just on top of it, looking quite nice. Down the back here, car part 1. This can be your spoiler option. I've decided to keep it blank because we're doing a bonus part spoiler. So on you go there. Then we've got car part 4, which is your badging. We've just gone for black badges. You know me by now. And then our tail lights. So the alternate tail lights, slightly tinted, looking good. Rear bumper is lit body kit's rear bumper, the rear bumper H. I think it fit this build very well. So actually, I'm going to take that rear bumper back off for the second. And then I'm going to put our exhaust part, which is car part 5N is what we've gone for, which is, if I go into normal mode, a lovely little twin turbo with air filters already placed on the end. Looking very nice. And that's what all of our piping connects up to. Makes this all fit and work and look fantastic. So I'm quite pleased with that. We will put the bumper back on because I was going to do this without a rear bumper and bigger spoilers. And then when I saw this setup and the exhaust already coming out there, it all looked fantastic. So I just left it as it was, and it looks absolutely brilliant. One last piece to put on there, just for the time being, is just a blank license plate, because we don't have one ready-made for it yet. And that should be everything for the bodywork. But we do need to get in and sort this interior out. And today, I've gone for Dodge Viper seats. Looking absolutely fantastic. And the colour scheme we're going with, it should fit in really well. We're not keeping the M3 steering wheel, though. We are swapping that one to a virtual mechanic steering wheel. Thank you, Multiply, for those. Still absolutely love them. They look fantastic. There's the base of the car. We do have some bonus parts to do. I'm going to quickly just open this door, and I'm just going to show you. That's the front cross member. If I can't put it in right now. I suppose I could. Can we put the cross member in without lifting it up? We can't. It does clip through anyway. You will see it. No, you won't see it because I would have painted it invisible by the time you come to see it. So, in fact, I am going to lift it up in the air, pop it in now just to show you. I wasn't going to, but I've changed my mind just so you can see. Just pop the Just pop the cross member in. There we go. Get around to this side, and as you can see, it all clips through, which is probably why Lit doesn't include a cross member with his. But I wanted that diff to be connected up so all the car was connected with that four-wheel drive system. I will be painting that invisible so you won't see it later on. But before we move on, I'm just going to close that door and we'll ignore that for a minute. We do have bonus parts to go, so let's get stuck in with these bonus parts. I like this one, I really do. For the front here, we've got some beautiful hood latches. On you go and on you go, keeping that beautiful bonnet secure, or hood if you're from America. On the front here, we've got, scroll all the way along, a front spoiler. Lovely little front splitter on there, just adding a bit more depth. You can do this with this model. There are some beautiful looking carbon fibre bottom bits that go down. You just don't get these canyards. Not with the kit I wanted anyway. So I created my own. I didn't create my own. I stole the spoiler from the workshop. But you know how it is. Looking pretty good on there. I like how that's going to turn out. Obviously, when it's coloured a bit later, it will definitely look different. This part here is a plate wide. This is covering that, well, it's not actually covering the cross member. If I go back and open the door, the cross member still pops through, but there is a couple of bushings and a bit of the suspension that does pop through. So that plate just goes in there to hide them pieces. Still can see all the pedals. Obviously, that's not a clutch pedal because this is automatic. But there we go. Close that door again. So that's the front end sorted. Didn't mean to do that. We're going to go around to the back now because we've got a big old spoiler to go on here. On we go. That should be this piece just here. On you go, which is our spoiler painted roof. Now, make sure you select roof. There's two of these. In fact, there's four of these. There's two carbon fibre ones and two painted ones, or paintable ones. I'm going for a paintable one. There's roof and trunk. Now, the roof and trunks, they'll go in the same spot. If you pop the trunk one in, whenever you open the trunk, it will obviously lift that spoiler up. If you have it on the roof one, it won't lift that spoiler up. Hence why we're going for the roof one. Down the back here is some things to hide some stuff. I'm gonna pop them in just so you can see what they are. They are base boxes, and there is 4 of them down here. 1, 2. You've never seen the actual base images. I just needed some stuff to blank off some bits because, well, the drive axles don't actually reach into the engine properly. You did see that briefly earlier on Lit's, but my engine's moved back a lot further than Lit's, so mine really doesn't line up. So we just pop these in to hide the fact that the drive axles don't line up with the gearbox. We're calling it race tech. We're hiding proprietary race tech as to how we got the drive axles to bend around and fit. You'll see it all a bit later on. Now onto these last 8 blips you can see on the roof here. Let's just get these all on. Same principle as before. You want to go for roof scoop slim long, not hood scoop slim long, okay? Otherwise they'll open whenever you open the hood. just to bear that in mind. These are our beautiful roof scoops. 3 on either side visible on the top. On you go, on you go, and on you go there. Absolutely fantastic. And then if we just open our engine bay, spoilers in the way, the other 2 bits, on we go, are sat just here. That's weird. Did I not buy enough? Did I not buy enough? I didn't buy enough, I don't think. So we're going to go back into normal mode. Go back into our shop. And I need to find then hood scoops again. I can't remember where they are. So there is 2. See, that's roof scoop. So that is the one we need. If you go up a bit further, that's hood scoop. Do not buy them ones. You want to buy roof scoop slim and long. I think I need 2 more. Let's just see if I did my maths wrong. I did. There we go. 1 in there and 1 in there. The theory is the air comes in through here, snakes into the car a little bit, and then down. And when we've got them intercoolers in the back and the turbo all set up, it is pumping them with fresh air from the outside into our beautiful engine bay. They will be painted to look a little bit better later on. But that's the principle. I think it looks fantastic. There is a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of clipping on the inside, as you can see here. And here for them rear ones, nothing for the front ones, so it works quite well. But when they're painted, they should be less visible a bit later on. But there we go. I think that is all the bonus parts. This car is now, should be, up to 100%. 96. I forgot something on the body. I always forget something on the body. I've put my rear plate on, got my fender on, round to the other side, got my fender on. I am missing my fender on this side, so on you go there. Nice and simple. That's how you figure it out, and that should be now 100%, 100%, 100%. Absolutely fantastic. This video is going on way too long, so let's get this beautiful Audi R8 into the paint shop, get some fresh colours on it, and get this beast back together, ready for you guys to give it a score out of 10. In the paint booth then, with our beautiful Audi R8 track machine that is looking wild. I love it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Let's just quickly talk about that livery. If I jump into here and just nip across one, this is the livery I started to make. You obviously saw a bit of it earlier. Didn't see this piece earlier. What it does on the official UV map, how it looks, is this carries on up here underneath that sliver there and then up sort of into there. Obviously, it doesn't matter where it goes across the wheel arch into this strip here, which obviously then when this is all finished a little bit later on, you'll see the effect I was trying to go for. Couldn't get anything to show up here. This swirly pattern, as I mentioned earlier, is inside this wheel arch. I was just sort of testing if there was something there, which there is. But I couldn't, I just could not get it to go. That was version number 1. Actually, that was version number 2. Version number 1 had this strip here all in red, sort of the inner strip in here. And I was going to do a racing number on the door, a couple of logos down here. That's what my original thought was. But again, as soon as I put the red bit here, or a strip across here, whatever color I wanted, that was showing up in here. So it was like cutting into this. So a quarter of that, or a section of that, was up in this door. And there was nothing I could do about it. I couldn't, like, if I had to delete, like, back here just to get it to not show up on that wheel arch. So that's why there is no livery. Not only that, the fact that when I finish painting this one, it is going to look absolutely incredible. So let's get started with our first color choice, which nice and simple. I'm just going with a bright pearl white. There we go. That's going to be our base color for this one. Now, we have obviously got a lot of carbon fiber on here already. 1, 2, 3 pieces already carbon fiber. And I am going to make the mirrors carbon fiber, make our lovely roof scoops all carbon fiber. The spoiler's going to be carbon fiber. This front split is going to be carbon fiber. And the hood, did I mention the hood's going to be carbon fiber with the hood latches probably in a white, maybe a red. We'll see. There is a splash of red going on here. But I think that's the plan. So that's the color we're going for. Nothing special on the finish for that one. We are going to go into here, though. We're going to do paint all screws, including rims. And we are going to go for a vibrant red on there. I've still got my cross member in. I forgot to take that one out, but never mind. So I think that's that. So let's get you painted. That's the color options I've gone for. Just a pearl finish as it stands on the white at the moment. I am going to try as hard as I can to match these carbon fibers in with the rest of it. Obviously, this is a slightly different weave to this anyway. I might just leave that one as it is, depending on how close I can get the rest of it. So I'm going to crack on, get all of these bonus parts stripped down, and to be fair, in here, I might just do a grey on that plate so it blends in a little bit better with that interior. Oh, I didn't realise you got white speakers and stuff on the door. That looks fantastic. But there we go. So now I'm going to crack on to start getting everything else painted, including that beautiful engine, all of the suspension ready to go in. Hopefully looking fantastic. And as well as doing a cheeky little bit to that interior, giving it some nice finishing touches. There we go. That's the colour. Let's get it back on the lift, get all of the colours changed to how we think the finished product's going to look, and start getting this beast all back together. Here we go then. As you can see, for a change, the car is 100% fully finished at this point, mostly because if I didn't do it now, this would turn into an hour-and-a-half epic, directed by J.J. Abrams, starring Will Smith. It would be so long. So anyway, we've decided to cut it back. No engine building or stuff like that. All the wheels are fully on, but we will obviously talk about some of the beautiful stuff on this car. First thing you're going to notice is all of the changes on the front end. Obviously, this hood is now full carbon fiber. We do actually get a dual tone carbon fiber. These are a much finer weave carbon fiber on these vents just here. Looking very nice. We've got the same carbon on the mirrors, same carbon on our roof scoops, and the same carbon on our spoiler there. And it does sort of match in the carbon we've got on here a little bit less. As you can see, this has got a bit more shine to it than this. I will tell you, these are all technically finished in a pearl white. I will throw the image, or one image on screen now, just to show you the carbon fiber settings I've set for these exterior body parts. The other thing is this is also in the exact same carbon fiber, apparently. So yeah, that one didn't really turn out as we wanted, but it still looks nice in the black at the front there, with obviously all the carbon fiber accents. I think it looks brilliant. We did decide to go for some metal hood latches on there, some red hood latches on there, just to keep up with a splash of red theme we've got going on. I say splash of red. If we step to the side, obviously them rims, this is the BMW M1 Pro Car rims. Absolutely fantastic. They're looking beautiful on this build in a matte red, same matte red that we've been using around the car. The fixed white from the Quality of Life mod. Absolutely fantastic. They came out perfect and looking so nice. We'll talk about the sizes. The fronts here are a 255 width, a 19-inch, 25 profile, and ET of 60 needed at the front. So quite a lot of stretch needed to bring them out. The rears are a little bit wider. They're still a 19-inch rim, but they're 275 width, still with a 25 profile, but ET of 70 needed at the rear here. Looking absolutely beautiful. I love these rims. I was testing out quite a few when I was designing this. I popped these on and I was sold straight away. They just looked absolutely fantastic. I literally sold all of, I was in my test profile, not my main profile, sold off all of the rims I didn't need anymore because I didn't even try them on. They just fit this car so well, and color-wise it looks absolutely fantastic. Down at the back here, we have painted our lovely exhaust and turbo setup. We got a little bit of red on the exterior pipes there and on the filters. This bit here is carbon fiber, looking quite nice. Same on both sides, and some red pipes sticking out the back. And I think it all looks fantastic. But what we are going to do is we're going to click on the engine so we can jump in. And all of that exhaust, as you can see, it all lines up. We'll go in and count in the photo mode in a minute and get a bit of a closer view. But the exhaust comes out, obviously, into the turbos, where it spools the inside of the turbo and then shoots out the exhaust, spooling up this side of the turbo, which then shoots cold air from the intakes on the sides up into our small intercoolers, or through the small intercoolers, and then down into our throttle body up there. And it all looks pretty good. We've got the sort of V-mounted small intercoolers on there and all the piping. I think it all looks fantastic. I keep clicking and I'm trying not to. There we go. We'll talk about the suspension. All the bushings are in a beautiful red. We've got carbon fiber on the knuckle covers and on the suspension there, and then just black and white on the upper and lower arms with the black rear drive axles. This is what I meant by it not matching up earlier. When we come in photo mode in a moment, you'll see the boxes there hiding the fact that it doesn't actually line up. But there we go. Up here, we've got carbon fiber, carbon fiber, carbon fiber, and obviously our beautiful ECU Type A with its skin on there. Thank you, Barker. Absolutely fantastic. Down on the sides, carbon fiber on the fuel tanks and carbon fiber on the fuel pump. On the other side, there it is. Our main drive shaft in the middle there, also carbon fiber with a white front diff. Oh, and then lots of carbon fiber accessories going on at the front there. All looking fantastic. All of these bits are in carbon fiber. This is even carbon fiber with a not painted pump at the back there. Looking quite nice. These are technically our brake coolers. So we did them in red with carbon fiber on the back. And then our main Summit intercoolers, the one on the other side. Our main Summit intercoolers, radiators are in the white with carbon fiber shrouds and red carbon fiber on the fans. And I think it's all looking great. But let's jump up and take a good look at this engine with all the red bolts. We've got carbon fiber head covers, carbon fiber manifold. We've even got carbon fiber timing cover on there. These two pieces aren't painted, pretty much the only parts on there. We got brushed aluminium on the engine heads, red bolts, a few splashes of white, a little bit of red, and it is all looking absolutely beautiful. I honestly love how this has turned out. But now what we're going to do is, we're not going to put it in the air, we don't need to. We're just going to go into photo mode. We're going to fly through the body of the car so that you can see where this doesn't line up. That black box is there, covering the fact that we couldn't quite get it to line up and the engine be where we wanted it to. But we are calling it proprietary race car tech that I'm not allowing anybody to see because, you know, it's mine. It belongs to me. I don't want anyone to copy me. That's what we're calling it, at least anyway. And then the view from up here, from the outside into this engine bay, it is absolutely beautiful. I'm very, very pleased with how this one turned out. What do you think? Do let me know in the comments below. We have already tinted the windows. Windshield and side windows are at 70. This back window here is at 100. And this window here has got nothing on it because I wanted to be able to see that engine, obviously. All looking brilliant. Last thing to check is the interior. Obviously, we got our beautiful... I'm going to go into photo mode again. We got our beautiful red and white on our seats there. These beautiful Viper seats. The white piping on the red seats looking fantastic, especially with all the red stitching going around there. And then on the steering wheel, just red bolts and the red Virtual Mechanic logo. All looking pretty good. I didn't do really much in here with the bonus parts. We just nipped down below. That's our plate that we put in, and obviously our cross member sticks through here, but it's painted invisible, along with the bushings as well. The 4 bushings in the cross member are also painted invisible, otherwise you would just see them floating. But if I just nip through here, you'll be able to see how close this red bushing is. It's right there. And then down below, we got another one just there that is almost clipping through our plate there. It's just hiding it enough that you can't see it. But there we go. That is the beautiful finished track machine Audi R8. And we took this one from that stock V10 and transformed it into this custom wide body. I absolutely love that feature, thanks to the Quality of Life mod. Now I'm going to get the liquids topped up. We get the Audi outside in the sun, give it one more check over, put it on the dyno, and then say goodbye. We won't be saying goodbye. We'll be keeping this as a competition entry. You guys need to give me a score out of 10 so we can get this one onto the show car board. If it gets into the top 3, we will make another item of clothing. I've still got to do the Huna van yet, so we'll get to that. But if we get it in the top 3, we'll make an item of clothing for it, or a signature series t-shirt and mug, as we've been calling it. But there we go. Beautiful Audi, looking fantastic. Let's get all the liquids topped up and get this one outside in the sun. Here we go then. This is the main reason why we didn't do a livery for this Audi, because like that, it looks fantastic. I mean that, and I couldn't get it to work, but I probably would have left it anyway, because I hadn't designed the livery when I finished designing this car and sort of decided a few of the bits, like the scoops and everything, going to be carbon fibre. And then I put it all together as a test run and was like, that doesn't need a livery. Then I did try and make the livery anyway and failed miserably. So there's 2 reasons. 1, because it looks so good, and 2, because I just couldn't get it to go how I wanted it to go. But it just looks fantastic. I'm so impressed with this Audi R8. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. It's our competition entry. The theme was track machines, and I'm pretty confident this is a track beast. In fact, a track killer, you might say. So let's get on and put our plate on. Off with the blank plate there, and let's get our actual one on there, which says Track Killer. Obviously slightly abbreviated to make sure it fits. But there we go. Absolutely fantastic. Our track machine, track killer Audi R8. Looking beautiful in there. And just one more time, that engine bay. It just looks so good with the carbon fibre. I mean, this stuff up here, this carbon fibre up here is factory. That's how it comes. You can't change that no matter what you do to the car. So to be able to get these pieces in to blend in with it, looking pretty good. Very, very impressed with how that all turned out. But let's jump inside and see what this twin-turbo V10 Audi R8 sounds like. I mean, I'm pretty sure you already know the V10. Let's just get it started. Pretty mean standard tick over there, so let's give it some gas. That has got definitely some over rev. I made sure that was there, but I think there was some there before anyway. And a very, very high-pitched whine. It's just a shame we can't quite get the turbo whistle in there. But never mind. Sounding beautiful. There we go. It's time to get this beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. Let's get this twin-turbo V10 Audi R8 fully dynoed then. See much power we're pumping out from this fully tuned engine. Hopefully it should be quite a bit. 660 horsepower since we changed it to this version. It was 540 before, I believe, so already a gain there. And then we've gained another 687 from this factory, giving us a gain of 104%. A whole new engine. We always like it when that happens. And a drag rating of a 999. Not that we are taking this one to the track or the drag strip. This is one of our show car builds, so I just need you guys to give me a score out of 10 so we can get it added to our show car board, especially now that it is a 1,346 horsepower four-wheel drive Audi R8 with a V10 and a twin turbo. Absolutely fantastic. This build has turned out beautifully. I really have loved this one. But let's get on and have a look at the gearbox tune. Not that we've really done anything to this today. This is exactly how it comes from the factory. And it drives pretty well like this as well. I have been around the racetrack just to see if my car worked, basically. And it drives very, very well. So we'll leave it at that one. Maybe we'll revisit in a coming up episode where we'll take the top 5 of our show car board, maybe around the racetrack, see which ones are best, because I don't really ever race them. I just build them for show quality. So if you want to see that, do let me know in the comments below. And that's maybe something we could definitely do. Maybe something we could definitely do. That is just a contradicting statement, but you know what I mean. We could potentially do it if you want to see it. There we go. This one does obviously have a fully tuned Stage 3 ECU in here as well, giving us 16% additional power. And if you want to see how to easily do that every time, there is a video. It's a nice and short video, less than 60 seconds long. It's linked up in the right-hand corner here on some devices. If not, it is linked in the description below, along with a short video as well on how to do the carbs, although there's no carbs in this one, so we won't be doing them today. But enough about that. There we go. That is our fully tuned, ready to race Audi R8 that we're not racing because it's a show car build. There we go. Makes a lot of sense. Let's get it back outside in the sun, get this video finished, and see what we've got coming up next. Here we are then, all finished with the beautiful Audi R8, looking absolutely fantastic. Let's do a full price breakdown. I've never done this before, so let's give it a bash. We bought the car for $75,213 at the beginning and could have sold it at a loss of $4,057, but we obviously didn't do that. We spent $24,851 upgrading and sorting out all the suspension and all the engine bay accessories. Absolutely fantastic. A further $25,441 on that beautiful tuned V10 engine and all of the liquids and fluids to go in that one. Beautiful on there. $27,066 on the bodywork, interior, and sorting out that beautiful framework. $6,243 on all of the beautiful bonus parts. Then we had $12,018 on the wheels and tyres, $850 for that personalised plate, and paint and finishing at $21,654. Bringing us to a total of $193,336 for this beautiful Audi R8. Can we make a profit if we were to sell it? We are definitely not selling it, by the way, but if we were to sell it, is there some money to be made? Let's take a quick look. Let's jump in and have a look at this. Back into normal mode. In we go into the car stats. Now, as I just said, we spent $193,336 in total. Would we make money? With a sale price of $338,131, that would leave us a profit of $144,795. Not too shabby, considering we started with a stock V10 Audi R8 and we've ended up with this absolutely wild, crazy machine. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Please do give this one a score out of 10 in the comments so we can get this one added to the show car board. See if it's going to end up in the top 5, where if you guys want to see it, I will take the top 5 around the racetrack so we can compare them to themselves, or the drag strip, your choice. Let me know in the comments. But that is it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy the beautiful Audi R8. Do leave me a like and a comment down below, as I said, with the score and just generally overall what you think of this beautiful build. But what have we got coming up next as we head over to the truck? We were supposed to be doing the Chevrolet Capri, I believe, when we came back, but we've jumped on to that beautiful Audi. And next up is this, which is the Ford F100 Resto Mod, and it's a pickup truck. It's a square body pickup truck. I'm very much looking forward to it. Where do you want to see it? Racetrack, drag strip? Let me know in the comments. The engine in this one currently is the V8 double overhead cam supercharged. But we've got lots of swapping options, so if you want to see any of them, do let me know in the comments. And we'll find out whether we got a good deal for this beautiful truck in the next episode. So do make sure to join us back here next time for that beautiful resto mod of Ford F100. One last time, let me know what you thought of that beautiful Audi R8 in the comments with its twin turbo V10. Score out of 10, please. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you get up to. And as always, I want to say a big thank you to the channel members, especially for sticking around while I was having a bit of a mental crisis, but we will leave it at that. Thank you all to the channel members. You are wonderful. Thank you for sticking around for so long, and to any new members, you are always appreciated on screen here. And I will be giving my members Audi access to that beautiful Audi R8, the config ready to go, so you can just load it into your game and play up. And if you do want to get access to that, do hit the join button below for £2.99 a month. Become a member of the VM Garage Club. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is you're getting up to, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.